we're going to just dive straight into e-commerce trends and categorical trends in 2022. So what you're seeing here on the key focus areas, and I'm not going to read these slides to you guys, you can obviously do that on your own, but the key thing here is independent of SimCloud, where should your business be focusing? So coming out of the post-COVID world, and obviously independent of anything pandemic related, things continue to move more digital by the day. So looking at the different areas that your business can improve or adjust or pivot moving forward, all kind of center around key focus areas that you should be looking at. So the first one is obviously allowing your customers to self-service, which think of that as giving users alternatives to calling your business, emailing your business, waiting on a sales rep to come call on your account. The customer self-service concept is basically molded around the Amazon experience of the world, where 24/7 access to your account information, ability to place orders, ability to see invoices or historical orders, and do all of that on your own as a customer. So again, kind of, I think everyone's used to having that 24/7 business access. And so having customer self-service alternatives, whether that's through a solution like SimCloud with eCommerce, whether that is some sort of ticketing system for users to come in and allocate work. Again, all of that being around giving power to your customers to do business on their terms. Obviously, in that grain of allowing customers to self-service is utilizing integrated solutions. So within today's context, we're going to talk about how SimCloud's e-commerce solution leverages integration with Sage 100 so that customers can effectively self-service. The next item here is remote work capabilities. So it's funny for me, having been in a business that was basically 100% in office, traditional business hours, and coming out of COVID, we've pivoted into a remote first concept. So a lot of businesses I work with have similar setups. So maybe you have your administrative staff has a remote first where you can, choose to come into the office, or have designated days to come into the office, or again, just giving people the flexibility to work where they are, or even work while traveling. So remote work capabilities, or kind of that 24/7 access for your employees. And then the final thing here is consolidating vendors. So I think everybody, when you look at software categorically, you have a warehouse management system, and you have an e-commerce system, and you have a ticketing system, and you have all these different systems that are designed to give your business flexibility. And so consolidating those vendors as much as possible is something that businesses should be trying to do. Obviously, some of those cannot be consolidated, but trying to eliminate having too many vendors that are not adding value to your business or that are adding bottlenecks for the business overall. So key customer trends that I'm seeing, and I'm gonna kind of focus on three things as it pertains specifically to e-commerce. So, and I'll hit some slides on each of these individually. But the key thing on the first item here is that business-to-business companies, when it comes to e-commerce, have different needs than think a direct-to-consumer or a Nike.com, Target.com, things that we're kind of utilizing in our day-to-day life. Also talking about when customers do come to me, are they looking to replace their entire web presence, or they just want to add on to it? And then there's obviously trends where customers are saying, hey, we want to try new online sales channels and do that effectively for our business. So the first thing here is when customers come to me, you're seeing 57% here, but just the categorical kind of outlook here is that a lot of businesses have outdated legacy websites that are very much brochure driven. So, hey, we're a real company. We operate, here's our business hours, here's our address, here's a little bit of information about us. And it probably, was built in 2008 or 2010. It's outdated, but it does allow your business to be found and people to contact you. So again, these legacy sites have a place within your business. They have value for your business. But a lot of times when customers come to me, they're like, hey, I want to use the website as a demand generation tool. And we don't have an ability to display products on our outdated legacy website. Or, hey, we want to use the website for different account requests, or we want to use the website to tell the story of our business and how we differentiate from competitors. So replacing these legacy sites with a modern, updated website is one thing that SimCloud offers. I'll get to in the second section here. But this would be one kind of concept where customers are coming to me and saying, "Hey, we have an old, outdated website, and we need something new from a public-facing standpoint." The second thing we're going to talk about in a little bit of detail here and a little bit of detail in section two is how customers can utilize SimCloud either to replace those legacy websites and put a public facing website in place, or they could say, hey, our marketing team has, they sit down once a week. They like doing different testing and different modifications. We want a complete open source public facing website, but then we want to utilize SimCloud as a B2B customer portal off of that website. So kind of a multi-site approach where you're giving your marketing team a web platform that they're comfortable utilizing that gives them all the bells and whistles they need from a branding standpoint. And then you're utilizing SimCloud to be the transactional piece of that overall online presence. And again, I'll give you some ideas on that here in section two. And then the final kind of trend that I've seen, and this was really a trend that has emerged, I think, over the last 10 years, but even more so now coming into 2022, 2023, a lot of businesses are saying, hey, a lot of customers are asking for online access and ability to do business online. So we want to open up a new sales channel and utilize e-commerce to do that. So you've seen a lot of businesses, and one thing I've seen is people are like, oh, we're going to go and do the Amazon for business experience, and that creates challenges and opportunities and all that go with that. Or hey, during COVID we spun up a basic direct to consumer website. We love the margins that yields, but we've realized that because we did that as a standalone website versus a fully integrated website, it creates a ton of different bottlenecks and constraints for our business. So again, in a B2B world, the opening of new sales channels is great, but making sure that those sales channels are built for a wholesale or business to business type selling environment is key. And I'll talk about how SimCloud allows businesses to utilize Sage 100 and our integration with Sage 100 to make these new sales channels both effective for customers as well as operationally efficient for your business. So you don't want to just create these new desperate sales channels and then it just creates additional work for your team. So we'll talk about in detail how SimCloud kind of fits into all of these. But the key thing is, if you have an old, outdated website, you need to evaluate what that website's overall value is for the business and what do you want to utilize a new website for moving forward. Again, I talked a little bit about utilizing SimCloud as a customer portal versus utilizing it for your overall public-facing website, and then how SimCloud can open up new sales channels for your business. So